Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 22nd to the 28th, so yes, this one. Let's just jump straight into it and see what's going on for you guys, okay? For Libra, please, this week. You have quite a few, alright. I wasn't prepared for so much. Okay. Alright, and let's clarify these. You have a lot of messages, okay? So just be aware of this. Interesting. Oh boy. I do kind of feel this energy like on the bottom of the deck, and I shouldn't bring even more oracle cards in, but hey, like it is kind of bringing, I think there's a story coming through here, so just pay attention to this. So because we have this between worlds on the bottom of the deck, like it feels like all of this is part of you moving forward, but there is a lot of baggage to get rid of. Let's be honest here, Libra, there's a lot that's been going on for you. There is so much that maybe we've still held on to, so we're now having to deal with other things that we, like you're reaching this kind of precipice of kind of entering this new world, this new way of being, but you are shedding this old skin, and this is all a part of shedding this old skin. Overall, I wanted to pull a few cards for your overall energy despite all these individual things. And you have this Page of Cups and a Seven of Wands. So this is a very interesting energy because it's bringing up this kind of wounded warrior vibes. But you are strong, you are capable, and these are things I really want to say to you, Libra, because I do see a lot of triggers coming through, and I do see that there is a lot that you're having to deal with. Things that are very emotional to you, things that are very deep for you. Things that really touch you emotionally are coming up. But with the Seven of Wands coming through here, I think you're having to tackle certain triggers, not allow things to sink you under, not allow things to get to you, not to take things personally, but to understand that all of these things that are happening for you. It may not seem like it at the time, and a lot of people get triggered when we say this, but just pay attention that is some sort of projection in some shape or form. Or maybe because it's just a tarot reading, I can't see the actual details of your story, of course. But what's happening here is there is this energy of this is all helping you clear out certain things. So certain pain is going to come up, and it's not at you, it's for you to address and understand, okay, there is something still here that's still affecting me about a certain event that happened a while back. So now that is happening, how can I address this differently? How can I look at this? The best way to do this, especially if this is internal stuff, at least for me, everyone is so different, but one thing that really helped me, because I didn't have a lot of people around me to speak to about what was going on in my life and the feelings that I had, I would kind of be that person for myself. I would really talk myself through certain emotions from a higher perspective and from a perspective of somebody who is grown and evolved. So when I'm having these kind of slight triggers that are more of an immature energy and I want to react on it, this higher person, this higher self of mine would just come through and would really kind of give me the facts. It's not sugarcoating anything, but it is very compassionate. So if you feel understood by yourself, it's very interesting, but that would be my advice for some of you. For others, for a lot of you, with this combination of the Page of Cups and Seven of Wands, a lot of you are your own savior, and that's one thing that is coming through here with the Seven of Wands, because this is very independent energy specifically, and it might trigger you here. This could be coming from childhood wounds, though, of being your own savior, always being on your own, or always having to defend yourself and be there for yourself, not really having the right people there to protect you or to help you. There is a lonely energy, but this is a very strong energy coming through, and you are dealing with this. I think you're understanding that you're better being in your own company than bad company. So, you may have just had bad company growing up, so in a way, it's a bit of a blessing, otherwise you just turn out like them otherwise. Seven of Wands, regardless of everything coming up, you are going to be successful over all of these things. So don't worry. Everything that I'm going to say to you, you are going to overcome these. But they each have their own individual messages. Maybe they do come together. I'm not quite sure just yet. I haven't really looked at it. But I just wanted to speak about this Page of Cups, Seven of Wands. first, okay? But this is all a very truthful and honest week, okay? On the bottom of the deck in the tarot is the Ace of Swords. Very, very honest, very clear week, all right, for you, which is going to be good for you. All right, so the first card you had, which was interesting, we have exchanging gifts. Now, usually this is about, you having value, someone else having value, and you exchanging it together. So it could be that you are providing some services or talking to people about things, and they're giving you some advice, you're giving them advice. It's a very beautiful mutual energy. You also have the Two of Cups coming through here, so another beautiful energy about connecting with really good people who, again, you can get along with, people who you can share certain things with, and they have certain knowledge that you don't, and you have certain knowledge they don't, and you're mixing. All right, which is very nice to see. But we do have the Death card coming through with that. So the Death card is about transformation and change. This could be the fact that you may be coming out from a death experience. Like, I don't know, that was a bit strange to say, but I mean it in a way of like a transformation. You've been through a transformation, so now you've learned and grown through situations. You can give your advice to others who are going through the same. And maybe some of you are going through certain careers that you'll be able to do that here, Libra, as well. The Death card, let's just clarify this, which I'm going to do with most of these cards for you, Libra. Six of Pentacles. So it's just about a balance here. Okay, maybe you're just choosing to be around friendships that really kind of give you something, like not in a bad way, but people who, rather than, friends have an influence on you regardless. And I think what's going on here with the Death card is that you're purging, an old chapter. That's what the Death card is about. You're transforming, you're changing. So now you're able to really provide value to people, and you're really looking at friendships and people differently. Okay, do these people support my highest good? Do they resonate with the new me, or do they resonate with the old me? And it's about really not going back to an old way of being. So this looks quite good. Actually, I like this. Six of Pentacles could be work as well again here, okay? For some of you could be finding like gym buddies, and like you might be finding friends for like different things. You have your work friends, you have your fitness friends. Like the Six of Pentacles is a really good card for me because it's Virgo energy. Is like routines. It's about picking what you're doing and making sure you're focusing on the right things during the day. Some of you, by the way, might be doing like charity work, or you could be doing some sort of like fundraising. You could be doing, collaborating with other people about how you can provide value for others. Like there is something very charitable coming through the Six of Pentacles, but it's also about what you're putting your time and energy to, and making sure that it's balanced and good for you. So that looks very lovely. The next oracle card that we have, and what's paired with it, is To Be Fair in the Moon. So actually it was Aquarius that had this card, I think. Not quite sure. But To Be Fair is really a card of a life review. It is kind of similar to your card here, Libra, because it is about, finding a balance. Making sure that we are getting rid of certain things that are not for us, as you can see here. And what are things that provide value in my life, and what are things that don't, and being very honest about it. The To Be Fair card is this beautiful owl on the top of her head too, so you guys are being very intuitive at this time, and the moon does come through as this, but this feels like we're having to be very honest with ourselves when it comes down to our emotions. Are these emotions that are actually, one, good for me to feel all the time? Are these good things to dwell in? Are they helpful to me? And am I using them to understand myself deeper? Am I using them to kind of get to the root of the issue? Or am I just sitting and dwelling in this? Am I right with feeling this way? And of course, a feeling is a feeling. It's not right or wrong, but sometimes we can perceive certain things emotionally that may have not been what was intended or meant. So it's really about being very honest with yourself and being fair, not just on yourself, but on others too. Or maybe it's vice versa, of course. About certain situations in your life. And also the moon can just bring up, again, like it could be anxieties, it could just be these illusions that we feed ourselves sometimes out of fear, which is also an emotion, Libra, of like, oh, I don't want to go down this route, and I don't want to do this, I don't want to be seen because of this imposter syndrome. Okay, now we're looking at these emotions, because imposter syndrome is not going to get you to where it is that you want to be in life. So it's really about processing these emotions and being very honest with yourself about it. So maybe that advice I said in the beginning about really speaking through these things from that higher self might really help you dissect these emotions a bit better and really help you with a different outlook. Um, so there's that. We then have deep knowing, which is very interesting because it is clarified with the Five of Wands. So this can be like an anticipated conflict that's going to be coming up for you guys around this time. But this could be you being in conflict with yourself here, Libra. I'm only twisting it that way, so unless you guys don't mind. It's the ring light that's annoying me, but hey. The deep knowing is a card of, okay, there is this intuition that you've known, maybe for a while, maybe not, maybe it's just something that's coming through, but there is a need to take action on it. As you can see, the owl is now on the Mars, not on the moon. And the Five of Wands, though, is a card of conflict. It's a card of clashing. So this can be something that you knew was going to happen. Maybe this is a need to defend yourself, or knowing that you need to defend yourself. But Five of Wands, maybe a bit of a blockage. This can just be two messages for you. Either it's an external conflict, and I will clarify, so don't worry. Either it's an external conflict or it's an internal conflict that's stopping you from doing what you know you need to do. So I'm just going to dive into it. What's this Five of Wands, please? It's internal conflict. Or the majority of it anyways. The Hermit is all about, that is your higher self. So this is very good. So again, your higher self knows what it needs to do. But the Five of Wands is just kind of, usually it's children who are fighting. We have this older person who's kind of sitting and observing it. So maybe what I was saying literally is going to make a lot of sense to you guys, and could be some really good advice based on what I'm seeing here now. Is the Five of Wands, if there is conflict around you, be the observer. There is no need to engage in petty arguments and things that people are not even listening with the Five of Wands. If it's external conflict I'm going to speak about. All right. The Hermit is you about understanding that you know better. You've come out of the stage that they are struggling in at the moment. And as much as you could give some advice, the Five of Wands, these are people who are not ready to hear it. These are people who are constantly on the defense. A lot of ego involved with the Five of Wands because no one's listening. It's people who are fighting, just throwing sticks at each other, rather than actually listening to each other out. It's just people who like drama, people who like that, because that's all they know. So just understand that with the Hermit, sometimes we just need to not engage in certain things, and that is being the better person, or being the better you, should I say, because maybe once upon a time you would engage. With the Five of Wands, you would just react because what they're saying is wrong. But is telling them that they're wrong going to change their mind on you, or are they doing it because they're angry at you for other reasons and they're jealous or whatever it may be? So just pay attention to this. Of course, if it's not external, this could definitely represent internal stuff. But the good thing is the Hermit is still that observer. So if there is a lot of chaos in the mind and there's a lot going on, as you can see, it's kind of like there's a lot of things crossing each other. There is a deep knowing here with the Hermit that you can dissect any conflict that's going through at this time. You can kind of pull the string a little bit. I'm seeing like a ball of string, that where they have the big thought bubble and it's just a ball of string and somebody who's coming through and just pulling it. You can do that to yourself. Maybe you are in need of a mentor, and this deep knowing may be the fact that a mentor is coming through. Maybe you do need to speak to somebody, a therapist or a counselor, or somebody who can help you in any way. The Hermit can be a teacher of some kind, okay? It could just be a spiritual teacher of some kind, but it is someone who can help, or it could just be your higher self that's going to help pull this, ball of thoughts and feelings. Alrighty. Well, the next thing we have is round and round for you, Libra, which is about karmic cycles. It is about repeating, kind of the same situations over and over, the same kinds of people coming into your world, the same kind of situations, the same outcomes repeating itself. So if you ever find yourself in this loop, there is always a lesson behind it that we're not learning. Okay, that could be just standing up for yourself. That could be placing boundaries. That could be choosing yourself over choosing other people, making sure that you come first, making sure that you fill up your own cup, making sure that you have your own stuff sorted and not lose yourself in other people, like whatever it may be. There is a lesson coming through the round and round card. The good thing is I kind of feel like you've already done with the lesson. The Six of Swords coming through, which is kind of saying you've gone through the worst of it. So this is a situation that did end in a conflict for you in a recent past. You are already moving away from it, but just make sure that we're not going Okay, so what they're showing me, usually in a Six of Swords, is a boat with people, and you've just escaped one place, an area that was super conflicting. It's a lot of chaos. It's not a nice thing to be in, so you've moved yourself away from that. You've come away from that now. Just pay attention that you're not tempted because you haven't learned a lesson to go towards a certain island. That is exactly what you've just been through. Okay, so just pay attention to that. Be mindful. You're in this journey, so don't worry. I don't think something's coming in just yet. It's going to give you that kind of temptation. Of course, it's not temptation of like, oh, this is exactly the same thing. I would love to do that again. Clearly not. But it's a sense of maybe we have to be very careful with looks on everything. Just because someone looks nice doesn't mean that they are nice. Just because somebody looks friendly doesn't mean that they are friendly. Just because something looks like it's worth a lot doesn't mean it's actually worth a lot. So it's kind of about trusting a little bit more and not just diving into something head first. It's actually about being a little bit more cautious, which is a shame. We have to be like that in this world, but it is just what it is. We have to make sure that we are safe first before we just dive into something. So just pay attention to that. I think you're working on your own inner peace, so don't just give that up away for anybody. I can't speak. Don't give that away just for anybody. Up away. Anyway, so I'm just going to clarify the Six of Swords just once, and around. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. We do have a fire sign energy, okay, so it could have been a fire sign that you moved away from, or this could just be your energy, Libra, where you just want to flirt, or you just want to go and have fun, and you just want to go and bounce around. Sagittarius energy coming through with the Knight of Wands. It's kind of similar to what I was saying. This is an unserious energy. Some of you could be traveling, by the way. That looks quite nice. The Knight of Wands is an energy of like kind of just going around and conquering everything and just wanting to do it just for experience, just to go. But it does end up maybe not being the best thing. Because again, you've just moved away from something kind of chaotic. The Knight of Wands, definitely go out there and have fun. Definitely go out there and learn new things and experience new things. This is a beautiful energy. But when it comes down to stability, we need to make sure that something's quite stable first, okay? And making sure that you're safe first is very important with whatever this is. Maybe you're being asked to actually complete something. You know, projects, if it's plans, if you're in that cycle of constantly like, oh, like I've got all these ideas and I've started a lot of things, but I've never actually finished any of them. Like I've never actually got anything to show for what I created or came up with, you know, so maybe that's your advice. But Knight of Wands, it could just be people who are unserious, people who are there for a fun time but not for a long one, you know, just pay attention to that. All right, so that's for you to decide. The last card we have from this oracle deck, but I will pull out some more from a different deck as well, is Here and Now. So as much as you're moving forward, as much as we did have that between worlds in the beginning for you, Libra, is so important. And it's quite interesting that this is the last card, that we stay present, that we are very, very observant in the present, that we aren't wandering into the past and getting lost there and holding on to those resentments and, you know, that pain from the past, you know, that can be very tough on yourself. That can bring up a very hard emotional place for yourself in the present that you may be wanting to heal from. And you can't wander into the future. It's great to have a plan and great to look at it if it's bringing you inspiration. But just remember that that is just your imagination. Really what is most important, arguably, is the present. The past can teach you lessons. The future can bring you excitement and a vision. But really the now is where the decisions are made to get you to those places. So just pay attention to it. It's really asking you for you to be present. But you do have the Five of Swords coming through, which I'm going to clarify. That is a card of conflict. That's a card of a disagreement. The Ten of Pentacles, this could be referring to a family or a money situation. What's this Five of Swords about, please? Two of Wands. And just one more for Here and Now. Libra is your card. Here and Now, I guess it's just about a balance. It could be a legal situation for some of you, absolutely. With that Five of Swords being there. Make sure what you're saying is coming from a very honest place. And make sure it's from a mature place too, especially if you're dealing with something legal. Okay, don't allow any triggers to set you off. But the Five of Swords and the Justice card with the Ten of Pentacles and Two of Wands, did I say? It's quite interesting because Two of Wands is about expanding your life. In order to expand your life, we have to come up with new things. We have to choose a path ahead of us. So with the here and now, maybe what this is saying here is that you've just let go of something. So you're being asked to be present, not to worry about the future, because sometimes when we're in a situation that's very unpredictable and kind of out of your control, it can be very, very, like, we need to think about the future and worry about it just to feel safer in the present. But in this case, they're asking you to let go of that, let go of the need to dwell in the past and think about everything that's happened, let go of the need to think about what may happen in a month or 2 months or 3 months. You know, the Five of Swords and Ten of Pentacles is saying that you can still get to this position. We need to really think about where we want to go moving forward and get ready to expand, to grow. And everything that you're doing is helping you to grow already. So this is a good thing. Email confirmation. So some of you, again, there could be some disagreements in the family, and this can be legal things. This could be to do with the inheritance, or this could be to do with some money. This could just be to do with the home or anything. Ten of Pentacles is just a family thing, but it could be wealth. You could be pulling out of a family here, whatever they mean by that. Could be divorce coming through, a little bit of stuff like that. But for others of you, it could just be moving homes. All right. Okie dokie. Well, let's grab you some other cards for you here, Libra, and see what else is going on for you guys. You have Courage, which was very much like the first cards that we spoke about. Like the overall for this week was just the fact that you are this very powerful, very strong person. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And yeah, these are things that are bringing you a little bit of fear, or a lot of bit of fear, with that Page of Cups that we had in the beginning and the Seven of Wands. There's a lot of emotional triggers coming through, a lot of anxiety, like I don't know if I can do this, but you absolutely can. So don't you panic, don't you worry. A lot of this is really helping you to better yourself and like to move forward into this clean slate, which is beautiful. Let's get you some tea leaf messages, which can be very random, so get ready for Libra. Alright, that's a lot. That's enough. That's funny. Like get back to the basics, which is kind of like where you're going to be, like a complete clean slate. We have some significance around January. Alright. We have Camel, persevere and you will overcome problems. We have you'll be taken care of in difficult times, which is beautiful. We do have major challenge to overcome with the Mountain, which came up with frying pan, trouble, or accusations. Again, it could be in the family, or it could just be to people. We then have Tankard here, which is celebration, fun, enjoyment. Needle and thread, a sincere wish will be granted. Just be aware of great pride with the peacock. All right. Alrighty, Libra, so I love you all. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this reading helped you in some way. And if it did, let me know down below. If you liked it, make sure you like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next reading.